Previously on Zuducation. And the blue check marks were at it again. Like this blue check mark. And this blue check mark. Blue check mark. The blue check marks. Oh, you love these ones. Hysterical, irrational blue check mark. Condescending, arrogant, hypocritical blue check mark. I can't stand them. Today on Zuducation. Congratulations. You're now verified. With this badge comes great responsibility. Condescending, arrogant, hypocritical blue checkmark. I can't stand them. Awkward. I mean, I love having blue checkmarks. I'm important now. I can't believe I was such a loser just a couple of days ago without a blue checkmark. Like, if you don't have a blue checkmark, you don't matter. I take back everything I ever said about blue checkmarks. I'm Tyler Zed. Welcome to Zuducation. Happy Tuesday. Welcome to my channel, and welcome to another episode of That Didn't Age Well. Here on this series, we highlight hypocritical and lying politicians, mainstream media, and celebrities and entertainers. And back to the intro real quick. You guys, we can look at it two ways. Either I joined the dark side, and I'm now a loser, just like the losers I called out before, which might be true. But we can also look at it from the angle of us as a community. We have now infiltrated the blue checkmark group, okay? This could be good. We could use this for good. What am I saying? I have a blue checkmark now. I'm cool. I'm above everyone now, all right? So what am I talking about? It's not the latter. Jeez. On today's episode, we have a lot to cover. We haven't had a That Didn't Age Well episode for a few weeks. So we have a lot of Afghanistan stuff to cover. Obviously, hypocrites like myself, bashing blue check marks, and now being a part of the blue check mark crew. We have Fauci, we have Pelosi, we have so much. We have George Bush. Like, there's so much to cover today. You guys are going to love today's episode. If you guys are ready for today's list of things that didn't age well, please head down and like this video, and please make sure you are subscribed and have the bell clicked for notifications when new videos are uploaded. Now on to today's top 10 list of things that didn't age well. Number 10. Flashback to George W. when he said this about Afghanistan.
The days of the Taliban are over. The future of Afghanistan belongs to the people of Afghanistan, and the future of Afghanistan belongs to freedom.
Damn it, George W., that did not age well at all. And here's a couple other things that didn't age well with Afghanistan recently. After we left, it was reported that the U.S. military says troops disabled equipment before abandoning it at Kabul airport. And the following day, this happened. Taliban throws victory parade with U.S. military equipment. Lots of stuff not aging well over there in Afghanistan, unfortunately. We're going to get to some more stuff to have to do with Afghanistan later in this list. Number 9. But first, we have to flash back to our favorite comedians on TV. People like Trevor Noah, who, when Cuomo was ousted recently, he had this to say. These jokes that his team wrote for him. New York has successfully flattened the perv. That's so funny, Trevor Noah. Oh, man, you're so witty. Oh, jeez. But here's something you said recently about Cuomo when you guys were pushing him really hard as one of the frontrunners for a presidential candidate. My Tinder profile now lists me as a Cuomo-sexual. Oh, my gosh, it's so funny. It's so funny. These fellow blue check marks. Wow. What do you write these jokes, man? Where do you get this stuff? I just can't believe it. And before we move on from this flattening the perv jokeage, I just want to flash back to Kamala Harris on Joe Biden. We still haven't gotten answers about this. I don't know why. April of 2019. Kamala Harris on Joe Biden accusers. I believe them. The question that needs to be answered. Vice President to Joe Biden. Do you still believe Joe Biden's accusers? You've never clarified. Or is this all political theater? Just like everything else is with you guys. Number 8. Some of you watching this may have been fired for not getting the vaccine. That's where we are now. Companies are firing you for not getting it. which is crazy because last year, this is what Fauci said about vaccine mandates.
Dr. Fauci, the U.S. leading infectious disease expert, says he doesn't foresee a COVID vaccine mandate. If someone refuses the vaccine in the general public, then there's nothing you can do about that. You cannot force someone to take a vaccine.
And here is Nancy Pelosi defending you this year on your decision of whether or not you want to get it.
So here's the thing. We cannot require someone to be vaccinated. That's just not what we can do. It is a matter of privacy to know who is or who isn't.
Very interesting how quiet they are right now when people are getting fired for this. So where is Fauci? Where is Pelosi? How come the change of tune or the silence now? Number 7. For this one, we go to fellow blue checkmark Sam Harris when he said this right after Joe Biden got inaugurated. Feeling overwhelming gratitude for the adults in the room. It's such a condescending, smug thing to say, you know? But that's what us blue checkmarks do. We do that, right? This is one of the first times this has happened. At least on this one, you acknowledge that you were wrong. Here's your acknowledgement. Publicly eating these words, syllable by syllable. Thank you for admitting the mistake. Please, in the future, don't talk down to the rest of us. I mean, you and I can do that if we want to because we're blue checkmarks now, but, you know. Number 6. Oh, Drumpf, and his staff. You know, they became celebrity staff members. But thankfully, with Joe Biden, that's not a thing anymore. From the New York Times. In Biden White House, the celebrity staff is a thing of the past. President Biden is undoing a long-standing Washington tradition in which staff members enjoy their own refracted fame. He's just a simple kind of guy, just there to get the work done, you know? Staff don't get no fame for this. Except this is a lie, New York Times. You keep trying to craft these narratives because this is actually Biden's White House staff. They're getting profiles done on them in Vogue magazine. Really? Interesting. What happened to this Joe Biden's getting rid of the celebrity staffer? That's such a lie. Why are you trying to paint him as this guy that he's not? Number 5. We had George Bush on there earlier. This one we have to go to another GOP member, sadly from here in Minnesota. Josh Hawley tweeted this a while back saying, MasterCard has just informed me that they are terminating the use of their cards on Pornhub. And this guy, Anton Lazaro, said, you are giving Republicans a bad name. Going after porn? Seriously, dude? Pathetic. And about a month ago, this news dropped about that guy. Breaking. Anton Tony Lazaro, 30, a Republican Minnesota political operative and Fox News guest, is charged with child sex trafficking. Recruited 6 minors to engage in commercial sex acts. Yeah, I don't care what party you're from. If you do that, you can rot. Number 4. A few weeks ago, there was some big outrage, and every media outlet reported on it. Every sports pundit reported on it. It was how horrendous, awful situation. Check this out. From the New York Times, the Colorado Rockies said they were investigating after a spectator repeatedly yelled a racial slur at a Miami Marlins outfielder, Lewis Brinson, who is black, during a game in Denver on Sunday. AP News. Lewis Brinson of the Miami Marlins was targeted by a fan at Coors Field who repeatedly shouted a racial slur at the black outfielder when he batted in the 9th inning. About less than 24 hours later, video surfaced of this incident of the fan who was actually looking at the direction of a mascot in Colorado named Dinger. Yeah, I'm not kidding you. This was the outrage. The Colorado Rockies say a fan suspected of repeatedly yelling a racial slur at Florida outfielder Lewis Brinson was actually yelling to get attention of Dinger, the club's dinosaur mascot. I know it kind of rhymes. It rhymes a little bit, but the fact that you guys jumped on this story so hard just shows where your mind is at. This projection, you want it to exist. It's disgusting. Number 3. For number 3, we go to these social influencers who wear things like this. I don't even know what this guy's name is. Make the rich pay. Make them pay, man. Make them pay their fair share, dude. The rich are bad. They're evil, dude. It constantly surfaces when these types of influencers say stuff like this that they themselves are pretty rich. Twitch phenomenon Hassan Abi talks his way into West Hollywood home. Look at the price of this home. $2.74 million. Oh, that's just a modest house. $2.74 million. If you're making 50 to 70 grand a year, times that by about 30 to 40 years and see what you get. That's a lot of money. That's rich. Where I come from, that's rich. The funny part is he got rich off of talking bad about the rich. It's like this religion that sells this snake oil to a lot of young people. It's hilarious. Number 2, gotta go to the fact checkers and the journalists on this one. Fellow blue checkmark. This guy, new fact check. A viral photo makes it look like President Biden checked his watch during a ceremony honoring U.S. service members killed in Kabul. But that's misleading. This guy actually wrote a fact check from USA Today, which I'm still waiting for an apology, Maddie. I'm still waiting for you to write that article, quoting me. Just had to throw that out there. Wrote this article saying that the family members of these 13 soldiers that died, that they were lying. They were lying. They said that Joe Biden checked his watch during the ceremony. He says that's false, it's misleading, but then he made this correction because he was actually wrong himself. Corrections and clarifications. This story was updated September 2nd to note that Biden checked his watch multiple times at the dignified transfer event, including during the ceremony itself. The rating on this claim has been changed from partly false to missing context. Missing context? What are you talking about? You even corrected yourself after you found out you were wrong, and you can't fully own up to this hack job you made. Shame on you. Shame on you. But this is the fact checkers, these arbiters of truth, guys. This is what they do. They purposely mislead the public for their own good, to drive their own narrative, because they're partisan hacks. And just for fun, let's take a look at another journalist who's been tweeting things like this recently on these calls for invoking the 25th Amendment on Joe Biden.
Republicans are cheapening impeachment, presidential resignation, and now the 25th Amendment.
I just can't believe they would do that. Wow. But here's you under Trump.
Thanks to the 25th Amendment, it just takes 9 people at any time to make Pence president.
It's fun to pretend to be a journalist for so long, but people see right through you now. Like, dude, quit, please. It's embarrassing. I'm embarrassed for you. Number 1. For number 1, we go to the embarrassments that is Joe Biden. What a week. What a week. What a couple months it's been for Joe. His approval ratings are tanking. Here is one of his very favorable pollsters showing this crazy shift in approval and disapproval. And here are some reasons why.
And if there's American citizens left, we're going to stay till we get them all out.
Hundreds of Americans who wanted to leave, and thousands of lawful permanent residents of the United States and countless Afghan allies have been left behind.
CNN is calling you out. That is bad, Joe. That's really bad. Well, it's funny, though, because when you get asked questions about these horrendous things that you have done, these failures of yours, this is the type of stuff you respond with.
But we've all seen the pictures. We've seen those hundreds of people packed into a C-17. We've seen Afghans falling.
That was 4 days ago, 5 days ago.
What did you think when you first saw those pictures?
That was 4 or 5 days ago, man. Doesn't matter anymore. Come on, man. This is the president. This is embarrassing. And to remind you guys, this was him in the campaigning up to the 2020 election. We're 8 months into this pandemic, and Donald Trump still doesn't have a plan to get this virus under control. I do. What is it? What's the plan? You don't have a plan. This is just your political theater, your political rhetoric to try and get votes. Because this is the only thing you've done so far. Use TikTokers to try and sway people into getting the vaccine. That's all you've done. It's embarrassing. You don't have a plan. You're a terrible president. And it is time for you to resign. We'll deal with Kamala when she gets in there. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. How do you feel about this terrible year of 2021 when it comes to the political world? Let me know what you think about all these other examples in today's video. While you're down there, please like this video. Please help me get it recommended to others. That's it for today's video. Until next time, I'm Tyler Zed, and this is Education.
How dare you!
Idiots.